Few faces in modern history have become as instantly recognizable as that of Che Guevara, a man whose image would go on to symbolize rebellion across the world, yet whose life was far more complex than the icon printed on posters and t-shirts. Born as Ernesto Guevara de la Serna on June 14, 1928, in Rosario, he grew up in a middle-class family that valued education and political awareness. From an early age, he suffered from severe asthma, a condition that shaped his resilience and discipline. Despite this, he pursued medicine at the University of Buenos Aires, training to become a doctor. But it was not in lecture halls that his true transformation began. It was on the road. In his early 20s, Guevara set out on a journey across South America, a trip that would change the course of his life. Traveling through countries like Chile, Peru, and Colombia, he witnessed firsthand the deep inequalities, poverty, and exploitation faced by ordinary people. These experiences, later recorded in his memoir, The Motorcycle Diaries, planted the seeds of a radical political awakening. Guevara began to believe that systemic injustice could not be solved through reform alone. It required revolution. His path soon crossed with that of Fidel Castro in Mexico City in 1955, a meeting that would alter the destiny of an entire nation. Castro was preparing to overthrow the US-backed regime of Fulgencio Batista in Cuba, and Guevara quickly became one of his most trusted allies. What began as a doctor's role in the rebel group soon evolved into that of a guerrilla commander. During the Cuban Revolution, Guevara proved himself to be a disciplined and determined leader, playing a key role in decisive battles such as the capture of Santa Clara in 1958, which helped bring Batista's rule to an end. When the revolution succeeded in 1959, Guevara became a central figure in the new Cuban government. He held several important positions, including President of the National Bank of Cuba and later Minister of Industries. During this time, he worked to reshape Cuba's economy along socialist lines, promoting land reform, industrialization, and education. He also became an international diplomat, representing Cuba on the global stage and advocating for anti-imperialist movements during the height of the Cold War. Yet Guevara's vision extended far beyond Cuba. He believed revolution should spread across continents, particularly in regions suffering under colonialism and economic inequality. Driven by this belief, Guevara left Cuba in the mid-1960s to support revolutionary movements abroad. His first attempt was in Congo, where he sought to assist rebel forces, but the mission ultimately failed due to internal divisions and logistical challenges. Undeterred, he turned his attention to Bolivia, hoping to ignite a broader uprising in Latin America. However, the conditions were far from favorable. Lacking local support and facing a coordinated military response, Guevara's small guerrilla force struggled to survive. On October 8, 1967, Guevara was captured by Bolivian forces with assistance from the Central Intelligence Agency. The following day, he was executed in the village of La Higuera at the age of just 39. His death marked the end of his revolutionary campaigns, but it also marked the beginning of his transformation into a global symbol. Photographs of his lifeless body were circulated widely, intended to prove his defeat, yet they had the opposite effect, turning him into a martyr for revolutionary causes. In the decades that followed, Che Guevara's legacy has remained both powerful and controversial. To some, he is a hero who fought against oppression and injustice, dedicating his life to the struggle for equality. To others, he is a figure associated with authoritarian policies and harsh methods used during and after the revolution. His writings on guerrilla warfare and Marxist ideology continue to be studied, while his image, captured in the famous photograph by Alberto Corta, has become one of the most reproduced images in history. Today, Che Guevara stands as a paradox, a trained doctor who chose the path of armed revolution, a government official who abandoned power to fight in distant lands, and a man whose face became a universal symbol of resistance. His life raises enduring questions about justice, sacrifice, and the true cost of change. Whether viewed as a visionary or a controversial revolutionary, his story remains a compelling chapter in the history of the 20th century, reminding us that behind every iconic image lies a human life shaped by conviction, conflict, and an unyielding desire to transform the world.